Hey, so I'm going to do my best to explain HTML very simply. Now we're going to go through our standard routine of creating an HTML file and then I'm going to go step by step. Okay? So the first thing you have to know about HTML is that it's a language, right, that the browser, right, and this is the browser, Google Chrome, can read. Right? And the language needs to be exactly how the browser needs to understand it. Right? So that's why all the code needs to look correct. All the symbols, right? You look at this HTML file, this index.html file, and you see that, right? You have your HTML tag, right? Your opening and your closing HTML tag, your opening and closing style tags, right? You have your HTML language, which is read like this, right? With these brackets, opening and closing, right? And then you have your style tab, which has your CSS code, right? And this is right? This code here is different than this code, right? There's HTML, CSS, there's JavaScript. They're all three different languages. So we're going to learn to understand all of them. Now let's just create an HTML file simply on our own, right? So I'm going to right click on here, right? New folder, right? Simple HTML, right? And then I'm going to create a new file, index.html, okay? So we got our index.html file here, and we're going to just go very slow. All right, so I got my HTML tag here, okay, and I'm going to create my closing HTML tag. This starts our HTML file, right? So you need these, right, and then the closing, right? This opening and closing. Remember, it's our body tag where our HTML actually goes, right? The H1 tag, the A tag, the image tags. It all goes within the body. It needs to follow that format, right? So we create our body tag, right? Opening and closing body tag, right? Okay, so you have your HTML tags, and then within that you have your body tags, and this is where this will always be 100% where your HTML, like your images, your A tags go, right? So we'll create our H1, right? Our H1 tag, right? Our opening and our closing H1 tag. We'll say this is, right, the body. The body tag is where the HTML goes, right? And then let's go ahead. We'll get this in the Finder. We'll go to our desktop, Bumblework, simple HTML. Okay, we'll drag that into the browser. And then, as you can tell, this is what happens. Right, so this is how HTML works. The browser has to read this language exactly. If we do one thing wrong here, right, let's see what happens now. Right, it gets all weird, but it still kind of works. The browser is able to read some things, right? Right, you start deleting certain things, right, and it gets weird looking. Like, it still kind of works, right? But it doesn't work exactly. You want to get it perfect, right? Right, and we're going to say the body is where the H1 tag goes, right? Now you refresh it again, and everything works, okay? And and then, right? So now for style tags, right? I'll do another example next, but now just understand that this is how HTML works. HTML is a language, right? And the browser reads this language, and the HTML needs to look like this, right? And the style tag is different, right? It could go in the HTML file, but it's different than the HTML language. Okay, so we're going to start there.